Hey, happy Friday. Welcome to the Wake.Show. How are you doing? My name is Fisher, and you've stumbled onto something awesome this show. Very excited to have Chris McCarty coming back today. We'll get to stuff you should know. Also, we'll recap the week, and by recap the week, we're going to go through my iPhotos because as those of you know that have been watching all week long, I've been really annoyed because I'm stupid and old and stubborn, and blaming it on the technology. And so I haven't been able to get my phone and my damn computer just to link up. I know it's been all me. It's not a technical issue. So I finally just started clicking yes. I'll give you $9.99 a month for more storage over here. And yes, I'll give you $4.99 a month over here for more storage there. Just please, I want to access my stuff. That's how they get you. That's how they get you every single time. So we're going to go over some of the, I just want to be able to prove to everybody I can do this. About this technology. Actually, you know what? What we can do? Here's what I'm thinking. We could always go, I could click go live, and so that all the things that I'm saying actually make it out onto the Facebook. All right. Welcome to the Wake.Show. Once again, we'll start over, even though I'm already a minute 42. If you guys are, podcast or have downloaded the podcast on a Mixler, but I wanted to show you a couple of different angles. As you can see, there are some shiplap up on the wall now. We're very excited about that, and obviously, there's still a couple of holes that need to be patched up. But as we continue to grow around here, continue to expand and figure things out, that's one of the things we're figuring out, what we want the set to look like. So it's really cool to have somebody like Cords as a business partner, because he's one of those people that just gets it done, And hold please. Make sure we're right here. Yeah. He's just one of those kind of people that get it done. And I'll sit there and, get trapped in my head, go, oh, maybe we should do this, maybe we should do that. And he just starts grabbing boards, putting them up on the wall, tack, 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 tack. There we go. Next. And so anyway, let me promo what's, hey, David, how are you, sir? I hope all is well. Mike, John Sweeney, how are you? So coming up on the show today, we will have Chris McCarty stopping by. And he had a really cool gig last night I can't wait to hear about. I know it sounds stupid. Like, my friend's coming by, and he's going to tell us a story that I think everybody's going to like. But, I mean, how cool. He played to a sold-out show last night at a House of Blues and opened up for Chase. Damn it, I forget the name of the guy. I really should probably pay attention to this stuff a little bit more. So, anyway, he'll be coming by the show today. I'm sure he's he's a little exhausted after his gig last night. We'll get to stuff you should know, and we'll also be going through my iPhotos today. Why would we go through my iPhotos? I'll tell you why we're going through my iPhotos, because, wait, hold on. I'll tell you why. Hey, John. Because I've been really annoyed. I've been really bothered that I'm so old and dumb and stubborn that I can't figure out something simple, which is like how to get the photos from my phone onto my new computer, iPhone, or an iPhoto. And so here's what I do. I get all angry, and I say this is it's because Steve Jobs is no longer with us. When he was here, Steve he cared about the people and made everything very intuitive. And so these first generation, when he was first making this stuff, man, you'd pick up the new iPod or the new device, and you would just start like going through it, and it would work, even though you didn't know what you were doing, because he just knew us. And so I'm like, oh, and these people don't, man, they don't care anymore. It's all about just trying to get another $2.99 a month out of me, put another $4.99 a month, another $9.99 a month. And when the reality is, the likelihood is that it's still very intuitive just to those who are 18 to 24 years old. It's not as intuitive for a 45-year-old. But anyway, I know it's also, I just needed to pay the money to get some more space in my Dropbox. But anyway, so enough of that nonsense. We are going to go through the photos. There's some things I wanted to show you this week that I wasn't able to because I was just stubborn. So we will get to that on the show today as well. All right. So where do you guys want to start? Stuff you should know? Why not? Why not? One of my favorites. All right, so stuff you should know today. We got we'll be covering the Winter Olympics Open. Did any of you watch that? Did you watch the Open? I didn't. I mean, I had an excuse. I had a gig last night, so I'm pretty sure that's a good excuse. Also, but maybe not. Maybe when was the? Probably, I don't care. I mean, I will. I'll get a couple. Like, what'll happen? I'll be like everybody else, and here in a couple of weeks, or in a couple of days, because it'll be over in a couple of weeks. In a day or two, like there'll be some story that pops and makes me go, ooh, gets me interested, and then I'll be sucked in, and like everybody else. National Pizza Day today. Man, oh man. Now, normally Friday night is a date night for Mr. and Mrs. Fisher. That's me and my wife. That sounds weird. And normally I cook or bake a pie, pizza pie. But tonight we're double dating it up with some friends of ours at Boulevard Burgers. Fish, you mean the same Boulevard Burgers that you're always at? Do you live there? Listen, I'm only there about twice a week, sometimes 3. One of them is on official capacity, and that's trivia on Tuesday nights. And then there's date nights on Friday, so sometimes we like to go to our favorite place on the beach. That's Boulevard Burgers. And then, of course, then Sunday rolls around, and we're looking to go somewhere, and it pops up in our head again. So, or it pops right up again. So that's where we end up. Tampa Bay Rays. Now, I think it's like 1:30 today, or is it 11:30 this morning, or 1:30 today? We'll come back to the story where it looks like they're going to announce that ideally they would like to be in the outskirts of Ybor City, Batista's Gate. Is it David Batista? Is that his name? Yeah, I'll pull it up real quick. I don't want to mess this up. Lives here locally. Guardians of the Dave Batista, Guardians of the Galaxy, and was he a wrestler too or something like that? But anyway, he's trying to put up some gate, I guess, and he's pissed because the city's dragging their feet, and he's spending thousands of dollars on all kinds of things, and so he tweeted right at him, "What the hell do I have to do to get you to approve this GD gate?" And then more. So we'll come back to that story. Oh, I wonder if I do this, if it'll go. Oh no, it does that. New emojis. Does it have this emoji? What's the emoji for? We have enough emojis. Sketch that thief. This story was all over the news this morning, so if you'd flipped on your television, you probably already saw it. But it's about somebody who got robbed, and the sketch is just so awesome. It is very cartoony. As you can see behind me there. Let me just go ahead and do that. It's very cartoony, and so people were kind of making fun of it at first until they pegged the guy. Well, now this guy hasn't been arrested yet, as far as I know, and but they're now looking for him based on that sketch. But you look at that sketch; it looks like something you'd find in a cartoon newspaper. But then you put it up against that guy and you go, oh, she was a little off on the jawline, but other than that, pretty solid. Recent train crashes. I think over the last 3 months, we've had three fatal crashes. So I've got a guest coming on today, and his name is Michael Callanan. I believe is how you say his last name, but one of his friends, 34-year-old Michael Cella, died Sunday morning along with the Amtrak train engineer, Michael Klimpf. Now, Michael Callanan is a friend of Kella's, and he is struggling to come to terms with the loss of his friend. And I guess it has to do with, we'll talk to him about it. He's been very vocal recently, and has been on a lot of the cable news networks talking about this. Hey, Roy! Hey. We'll get right in the movies. Awesome. And then lastly, when it comes to stuff you should know, we'll come back to a Me Too advocate is being investigated herself. This is somebody who has been is a California assemblywoman who has been out there in front of this Me Too movement, and then there's allegations that she's been doing a little bit of groping herself. So we'll come back to that story with stuff you should know. My first guest today is our movie guru here at Bake More Pies, and that is Roy. Do I even know your last name, Roy?
It's Saringo.
Saringo, Roy Saringo. Yeah, I don't know that I did know your last name.
Yeah, Saringo, like Ringo Starr, backwards.
Well, welcome back in, man. How have you been?
It's been a while.
Yes, sir, it has. All right, so I've got a new camera, so
nice.
All right,
I like the setup now.
It's coming along. I definitely want to get your opinion on some of this stuff because we're trying some things.
Yeah.
And we probably shouldn't try anything without asking you, without coming to you first. All right, let's see if that. We were trying to get this over the. Hold on, here's the shot we were trying. And for those of you that I've just got it on Roy, and he's like, "What the hell, dude?" All right, so this is the shot I was trying to work on. Ready? This one here. There we go.
That's a good shot. Yeah, I like that.
So I'm interviewing and can go back and forth between this, and then me being all animated.
Look at you.
Look at that. And then, of course, all right, so let's talk about what movie you're talking about today, or movies.
I haven't been here for a while, so...
Okay.
I mean, I saw a few movies. I don't think I talked about... I saw I, Tonya.
I, Tonya. Let's start
with I,
was
Tonya. Really good. I look younger than I really am. So,
that's you, or...
No, this is me.
Okay.
So... fun fact, it's one of those events that actually happened during my lifetime, and I watched
the Tonya Harding movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've watched these events unfold in real time during the 90s at the Lillehammer Winter Olympics, and I remember seeing the live newscast of Nancy Kerrigan's so I saw that live, not live in person, but live on television. I wasn't there, just to let you guys know. Get me out the clear.
You weren't there banging around any knees?
No.
Okay.
But those were, kind of like almost one-sided spin. I feel that portrayed Tonya as the villain, and then Nancy Kerrigan as the victim / hero of this story. I, Tonya kind of puts a different, I don't want to say different spin, but it puts a different perspective, because it humanizes Tonya more than what that whole event that the media portrayed. So it wasn't good versus evil. It was.
Did we need this, Roy? Did we need for Tonya Harding to be
human being?
Yeah, do we have to understand that she's human like the rest of us and fallible like everybody else, and made a bad decision at some point? Is that what they were trying to do?
Did we need it? No. Was it fun? It was a fun movie.
Okay.
It was a fun movie.
All right.
Just to see how the plot unfolded on the way to the infamous baton breaking, leg breaking.
Okay.
And because
I feel like we only have so many so many hours in the week to dedicate to movies and this kind of stuff, and I don't know that Tonya Harding is going to write the story of Tonya Harding. I
felt the same way. I'm not big on ice skating or Tonya Harding or Nancy Kerrigan. That to me was all in the past, and the fact that Margot Robbie, the actress that plays I, Tonya, doesn't look anything like her, didn't appeal to me. But surprisingly, it was a good movie. Okay,
so definitely worth seeing. And is it going to be nominated for something next year? Or?
Well, she's nominated for Chris McCarthy in the house.
Yes, sir.
She was nominated for Best Actress.
Okay,
and then her mom in the movie is supporting actress Allison Janney.
All right, so what's the next movie you got for us?
Phantom Thread.
Phantom Thread
it's an Oscar-nominated Best Picture. I don't think it should have been.
Okay.
It's not a commercial movie, so it's not going to appeal to everybody. But there are loyalists to a filmmaker named Paul Thomas Anderson.
All right.
Paul Thomas Anderson directed one of my favorite movies of all time, which is There Will Be Blood.
All right.
I mean, he did Boogie Nights. He did Magnolia. So he has this cult following for him. And if you're one of the cult followers, you'll like this movie. I like this movie.
Okay.
It was very twisted, though.
So is it in the same vein? Like if you really liked, like me, There Will Be Blood, you'll like this?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. So this is... The weird thing is, this is... It's not like he does these movies that are similar to each other. Like, all his movies are, like, vastly different.
Okay.
In story, in the way he shoots it, in the way they act. So this is actually a love story. When P.T. Anderson wrote this, he actually kind of wrote this with Daniel Day-Lewis. This is the best actor of all time. And so one event in his life that occurred was, you know, like, he's married and he felt like kind of a distance between him and his wife at a certain point. And so he found that when he got sick and his wife would take care of him, there would be this spark of romance that rekindles. So P.T. Anderson told a story around that, set in a former time. I think this is like maybe a few decades ago, somewhere in the 80s, 90s, maybe. And so it's this kind of weird, kooky love story. I loved it, but the love story is twisted, and I can't explain that anymore. Otherwise, I'll spoil the. Well,
there's a psychological condition too that, similar to that, where parents, and usually a mom, will keep trying to keep a kid sick and do all these little things. Sometimes it's very even subconscious.
Yeah.
And so that they constantly are needed, and, you know, they're having to take care of their kids, so they're constantly needed. They are getting that affection. They're the hero, you know, and it's just an endless cycle that people get trapped in. So, is that based on anything?
No. Completely original story. That is Daniel Day-Lewis's last movie ever.
Right. I think it went to something else. I saw UFO all of a sudden, and I don't think that was the movie you were talking about.
So Daniel Day-Lewis, who's infamous for There Will Be Blood, he was Bill the Butcher in Gangs of New York. He played Lincoln in Spielberg's Lincoln. One of the, if not the best actor of all time, had stated later last year, 2017, that he's retiring. That movie, Phantom Thread, is his last movie. So
okay. All right. So
which kind of sucks because I still want to see him in other movies.
Right.
In other roles.
You know how this goes. He's going to retire until he feels like he doesn't need to be retired anymore.
I say that, but Sean Connery said that, and Sean Connery hasn't come back.
Okay. Maybe I'm wrong on that one.
Maybe not.
Well, speaking of greatest actors of all time, what do you think of the revelation? It's one of the things people are talking about this week. I think it was yesterday or the day before the news broke. Quincy Jones was just talking about a lot of things. He was talking about.
I just read the Richard Pryor one.
So there we go. Marlon Brando and Richard Pryor. Can you picture that? Have those stories been floating around Hollywood for a long time?
To their defense, they did say it was the 70s. So I'm not surprised. Kind of taken aback, but I'm not surprised.
Because they try to confirm this with Richard Pryor's one of his ex-wives, and she goes, "Oh yeah, it was the 70s. The drugs were really good back then." And one of the great quotes too was, was it enough cocaine you would you'd have sex with a radiator and then send it flowers the next day. The drugs were so good back then. That is a great. I don't know if it is a great imagery or great imagery or not. But Roy, before we get you out of here,
can I talk about one more?
Yes, you can.
It's not in the theaters.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. It's called The Cloverfield Paradox.
All right, tell me about it because I was flipping through. I did see that. It's obviously has to do with that series, right?
Cloverfield.
All right.
So it's the third installment of that series. And the way they're telling Cloverfield, the series, is it's different each movie. So, like, the first movie was obviously first person handheld, low budget monster movie.
Okay.
Right. The second one was a one location. What's that place where a bomb shelter?
Okay.
It takes place in a bomb shelter. Still has images at the end of these aliens. This one is set out in space. The way I see it was if the movie Alien by Ridley Scott was shot by J.J. Abrams. Because the same cinematographer who did The Force Awakens is actually the same cinematographer that did Cloverfield. And surprisingly enough, it was J.J. Abrams' company, Bad Robot, that produced Cloverfield Paradox.
Okay. All right.
And so Cloverfield Paradox, the original name was the God Particle. And the God Particle is about the Higgs boson. Do you know what that is?
Yes, but go ahead and explain it to the people. The Higgs boson. They call it the God particle because it some look at it as like if we can find this particular thing, then this is like the first thing that was ever made in this universe or something like that. When it goes right back to the beginning of this universe or the time in this universe, and so there we've got the CERN Hadron Collider. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And this huge contraption that is miles and miles long.
In a circle?
Yeah, in a circle, spins these atoms around, and they crash into each other, and then we look at what's left over, and we're looking for this particular particle because if we find it, then supposedly it's going to answer a lot of questions.
From my understanding, there was a documentary about the God particle where they successfully found one element in two spots at the same time.
Right.
I don't know how that works. I mean, if it's going to be called a God particle, then I assume that you can be in two places at the same time.
That's right. That's what quantum physics is telling us.
So, and that's interesting because that's what Cloverfield Paradox is about.
Okay.
They have that. What was that contraption called? The
CERN Hadron Collider, or a Hadron Collider.
So that's a part of the satellite spaceship that they're running. That's what, and they're trying to fix something on Earth. I got to watch it again.
Okay.
But it malfunctions and it sends them to a separate dimension that's not their universe.
Okay.
Where there is...
I'm in, buddy. I'm in.
There's a different them, and there's different people with different experiences, life experiences, and relationships. And so they're trying to get back to their universe. There's a surprise at the end that it's almost like a separate story, but the twist at the end puts it all into the Cloverfield universe.
Okay. Oh, so you're watching this whole movie. You go, how does this even tie into the other Cloverfields that I watched?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you go, oh, there it is.
But that's what they did with 10 Cloverfield Lane.
All right.
Is it felt like a story on its own, and then at the end they tie it.
Okay, so because that was one of my questions about that one, because I was getting mixed comments on whether or not it was tied to that Cloverfield that came out, a few years prior.
Yeah, it was at the end, but it seems like that's how they're telling this set of stories, is telling a separate part of, a story in the universe that somehow ties up to the monster of the first one.
Okay. All right. Well, then, before I get you out of here, because I know you haven't seen the movie yet, but what are your thoughts so far on the new Black Panther movie? The last that I saw, it was outpacing all of the other superhero movies for advanced ticket sales. I don't know how that's going to end up playing out in the end, but are you excited about this new flick?
I am excited about this one. I was excited since he first appeared in Civil War.
Okay.
But we're not going to get it till next week. So
have you heard whether or not it's overhyped? What are you hearing initially on this?
I just been getting good reactions.
Good. I'm excited
about it.
All right, Roy. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you again, sir. Thank you so much for stopping by the studio.
Thank you.
And your advice and your expertise on all this stuff is always welcome as we try to figure out the best camera angles and whatnot.
And one last thing.
All right.
There's a movie called Hostels with Christian Bale. Go watch it. It's the best movie I've seen this year, 2018.
All right. Thank you very much, Roy. We'll talk to you soon. All right. See ya. Now send in that Chris McCarty. Or is he taking a nap there in the back? Oh, is he on the phone? Oh, he's on the phone. Take your time, buddy.
Situation when you can fix it, man. I love you.
You do what you got to do. Take your time, buddy. Take your time.
I said that I love you, and I understand, but that's not going to happen. because everything is different. Everything's different. Hi, everybody. I'm just handling this conversation. It's important. I'm here. See, it's live. It happens. I love you. I got to call you back. All right, bye. Thanks, guys. How cool was that?
Hey,
Day in the life with me.
What's going on?
Some stuff.
Yeah?
Stuff that needed to be, whoa. My child he wasn't doing great. He was having a hard time at school.
Aw.
Yeah, so my
Dad
God,
stuff.
Daddy, I love you. I love you. I love you. We'll talk about it soon,
Well, thank you so much for coming back today. I want to hear about how your night went, but this is the Wake.Show. And before we move on, I just want to make sure. That there. All right. All right, John, Andrew, good morning, a.k.a. National GERD Day. Oh, National Pizza Day is today. Thank you so much for the likes and the shares and being part of the Wake.Show. We'll get back to stuff you should know, or get to stuff you should know here in just a couple of minutes. Also, today we'll be going through my iPhotos. So I finally got it hooked up in the iCloud, and it quit yelling at me for storage and got milked. Got another $9.99 a month out of me. And so because of that, I'm just pissed, and I want to share my photos with you. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Coming up on the show today. All right, Chris, welcome back in, sir. I think did I have shiplap up on the wall the last time?
No,
you were
I
here?
just noticed that. It's really looks good.
We're getting there.
I see it, man.
We're getting
progress. It's growth and happiness.
Thank you, sir.
It's progress.
But let's talk about a cool night you had last night.
Boy,
I was getting as a matter of fact, I can pull up those pictures too. We'll start the
let me see.
the slideshow with well, no, we don't need to start with that. You get out of there. What are you doing? Photos. How's this? Photos. Click. Whoa. All right. So here we go. Here's you. It's like the beginning of the show, or right before the show starts. Picture of you up on stage.
Yeah.
All right. And another little shot of the crowd there, House of Blues. And that's a good one, too. And that's you up. Who took this photo? This is you
Let's
up.
see.
This is somebody from.
Yeah, now Deidre's going to be coming up here. She is my business partner. And so she was running around taking all the shots.
Oh, that's a cool shot
that's
there,
a great
man.
one.
Yeah.
That was a great one.
All right. So look, this is you up on stage. By the way, Chris McCarty has, I don't want to say you have two shows, two acts, but you've got the show that you do with a band. Yeah. And then the show you do by yourself. Did you have anything, anybody backing you, or was this all?
Oh man,
this was all looping last night.
Yeah, it was cool. So there were, it was nice when you get there and there's two bands, like 5 guys here and 5 guys, and then it's just one little me,
Because you got support.
Yeah, so they're all like, okay, what's he gonna do? You know what I mean? And then like, oh, he's gonna loop. Okay, cool. So sound check happened, and
all right, so we get a text. You got excited.
Nice.
He got excited early on in the night. By the way, I'm going to help him tell the story because I know that he was at the House of Blues in Orlando, had a long night and a long drive back here. So I'm going to help him with the story. So he texts us once he set up there doing sound check because he started doing his thing, and all of a sudden, all these heads, all these faces that he did not know, start popping their heads around the corner, which is a kind of a cool sign, right? It's a cool sign.
It's a cool sign. It felt good, man. It felt good. So, and then like after sound check happens and dudes are coming up and they're like, yo, man, that was hot. Like, then the confidence sets in and, and you're hearing it and the music's louder and you're just on the House of Blues stage. I haven't been here in years, and then when
was the last time you were on that stage?
Oh, man, 10 years. So it was great.
Back then, were you doing your thing? Or
no, that was full band.
That was full band? Were you opening up for somebody?
The Dave Matthews cover band, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I was doing back then. Yeah,
very cool.
But no, it was an awesome time, and everybody was so nice, and it was just cool, man. Fun time.
You don't have to pull up too. Is who you're opening up for? Chase
Rice.
Oh wait, is it? Yeah. Chase Rice. I need to pull him up, but I want to finish my coffee first.
Finish it, brother. It's your world.
Coming up at noon. By the way, I got we'll be Skyping in a guest, and all these Amtrak crashes recently have stirred a lot of controversy, and there's somebody that wants to talk about it, very passionate about it. Lost one of his friends in one of these so-called accidents, and we'll get to that coming up at noon. But I want to hear about your event last night. Please, tell me more.
So it was like you get there and you go backstage and so we did sound check and then just started walking around, just kind of seeing the sights, get something to eat. And you're seeing all the people who are just like hovering around for the show, you know, then you're kind of walking through the crowd, just kind of looking and just taking it all in, you know, standing in the line, talking to people. They had no idea what was going to, just talking to me. Hey, so you guys are fan Chase? Oh, I've been friends and blah, 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 this many years, da, da, da. You guys have the openers? No, I don't know. Okay, cool, man. Good. You know, hey, brother. And so then, then when it, you know, it hits, it starts, and then you walk on the stage, and people are like, hey, that's that guy. You know, it's pretty cool.
D-Drop. How are you?
And so, yeah, man, and it's cool when that happens. And then, then the show hit, and in the beginning, it was like, it's funny because I haven't been in a stage like that in a little bit, and so it was just funny how I wasn't really looking at anybody at first. It was like, okay, man, make sure this loop stuff works, because, you know.
So when you're first getting up there, because that's a lot of moving parts that you have there on that stage. Let me show that shot again.
Do you have any other pictures you can give us?
But look at his you know, the feet there, and you've got some contraption right to your right, and then something under your feet there. What's that machine you have to your right there?
That's a drum machine.
Well, I know it's a drum. What kind?
I'm not telling. The magician doesn't tell us secrets.
Oh, so this is like a proprietary blend of meats and spices.
Like, imagine if I say it, and there's a kid out there who's got millions of dollars, right? And then he takes it, and then he puts it out there, and then everyone's like, I'm copying him.
Well, it's funny you say that, because Cords and I have been having some of these conversations, and he'll be bringing people through the room, and I'll start running my mouth, right, about what we're doing here, and he'll pick up the conversation and take it in a different direction, and then afterwards talking about, hey, listen, this is intellectual property now. The things,
right, absolutely.
Like the things that we are figuring out here. For those that are going to come into the space, it's going to take them a while. They're going to have to figure out their way. Right. And if you just start giving this shit up, like Chris is saying, they can just go, okay, I've got A, B, C, and D. That's all
like
I need.
If you would see, like, to me, it's crazy when you see, like, when I play it, people are putting the camera phones up. You know what I mean? And they're showing, they're looking. Right. Like, that tells me they haven't seen this yet. So I don't want to. Because you know what I mean? Like, someone could jump in front of me and all of a sudden then they're doing it.
I didn't know you were doing a magic show up there.
It is magic. It is magic, though. Let's be honest. Here's this dude with just his hands and his feet. Right. And all of a sudden everyone's like this. Like, that's magic.
All right, fair enough. Is it not? Fair enough.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you. Gotta be fair. That's why I'm messing with you guys.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm busting your balls so much. I don't know why I'm busting.
Cool. Can you see that?
Well,
this is a great one. This is behind.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. You just send them to me. Well, all right. We'll
so that's right behind. Yeah, do it like that. That's right behind the. So that's from this sign from what is it? The board.
That is a cool shot, man.
That's a cool shot.
Really cool shot. You see that, Courts? See how the lights are hitting them and everything?
Yeah, it was nice, really cool, man. And then it was cool because when I got off stage, Chase's actual manager flew in, and so Bruce, he's got a good shoe taste. We have a conversation about shoes, but no, he really liked it, man. So it's nice.
What's that?
Can I text you?
Yeah. Just go ahead and do. That'll be the best thing, and I'll just save it. And now that I've got my iCloud hooked up the way it's supposed to be hooked up, I think it'll just pop up right up on my computer there.
Just so the world doesn't know what your cell phone number is, type it in right.
Well, is that Deidre's phone?
We've seen that before.
Okay.
We've all seen that before. What's up? Get your number.
Hey, Deidre, why do you have my number in there as Sugar Bear?
Lauren, you heard that?
All right, there you go. Well, listen, man, the big question, here's what I want to know. Did you crush it? Did you put on the set that you wanted to?
What do you think, D?
Oh, that's when you know a man's confident. He's like, hold on, let me bring somebody else.
It's not even like that. I
was.
Can sit there and say, yeah, I did, but what does it matter what? Like, it's different because if I'm like, yeah, I think I did a good job, but she watched.
Yeah, but you and I both know, man. There's times when you come off that stage, you're like, man, I did it. Now,
you
might be wrong. You might be wrong.
I'll say this. Yes, I was very, very confident walking on that stage afterwards.
Right. Good.
And it was nice. And they called me back on stage at the last song. First chasing them, so I jumped up and hyping the crowd up. It was fun.
All right. So any exciting conversations with any of the managers or anything like that?
It was really more about just the night and everyone was enjoying each other and just kind of feeling that out because it's there and that's what they do. They go from place to place, and I think I'm a good addition. And I think they think that. So they did. It's cool because I was supposed to just play tonight, but they invited me to play in Atlanta. as well on Saturday.
Okay, but what's that mean? Because
it answers your question in a way,
right? If you get your way there, if you could find a bus that'll get you there, we'll put you up on stage.
No, but doesn't that answer your question to some degree? Like with any good conversations, like if they're like, "Hey, why don't you come to Atlanta?" Like, okay, all right, yeah, you know.
You didn't answer my question. Are they going to pay for you to go to Atlanta? Or if they're like, if you make it here, we'll get you the
pay to come. Dude, I'm not.
All right, so you make your way to Atlanta, they'll put you on the bill.
I say this: if you're going to let me play with you in front of a sold out place and like 2,000 people, there are artists who would pay for that.
Oh yeah.
So I'll go. It's fine, dude.
All right, cool. When are we making that road trip? That'll be fun. When are we making that road trip? That'll be fun. I'll go with you.
Saturday. Let's go.
Oh wait. All right.
What are you guys doing tonight? Can you guys come tonight?
I have a double date tonight out at the beach with some friends of ours. I know that you're at the Ritz tonight, right? Mm-hmm. You know, it's too bad that Tampa is not in St. Pete.
I feel you on that. I feel you. Just down here and you're up here.
Was that the dumbest thing?
Where do you live?
I live in West Chase right now. But
he's in West Chase, but he's Cord. Yeah, Cord's getting ready to move down by me. You need to move down to South St. Pete too.
Mm-hmm. I love Bel Air Beach.
Oh, that's right. You're out with the rich people.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll save my images now.
You're with the rich.
All right, we'll get to stuff you should know coming up in just a couple minutes as well. Man, that is a good shot. Oh, wow, that is a great shot. I hope that it pops right up on my computer like it's supposed to, like it's designed to do.
Can we charge my phone, please?
Man, in charge.
You know my kid, man. I don't know what just happened. I gotta make sure I'm okay.
You're not plugging your phone into this machine that I use over here. This is the machine that runs everything. I'm not just plugging your phone in there because I know then warnings.
No, I understand that aspect. Yeah,
because then I know things are just gonna start popping up.
Cool. Good daddy.
Why don't you come and get?
You told me. I love you. I love you.
All right. So if I go to my photo stream, should this new photo pop right up then? Let's see here.
Man, technology is really impressive.
Well, we'll see if it pops up first. I've been having my issues. All right, it might take a minute, I guess. I don't know.
So when are we going to start talking about relationships and give people relationship advice?
All right, right after stuff you should know.
Call in
right after.
Man, I help people all the time with that. Let's do it.
What do you mean you want to talk about relationships?
Dude, I am the guy that all my friends call about relationships. Now that I'm divorced, I think I know all sides of it.
I see. I see
what to do, not to do.
You're like an ex-smoker. Now that you've been divorced twice or just once? Once.
Been married once.
All right. Been married once. Now that you've been divorced, you can tell everybody what to do so they don't fall into the same traps.
I'm telling you.
Well, okay, here's my first piece of advice, relationship advice. You want to play the relationship advice game?
Do it.
My first piece of advice in the relationship game is that I'm not going to give anybody any advice because you're going to have to go through it yourself. These lessons you're going to have to learn yourself in order to become the human that you're going to be and the mate, and the partner in life that you're going to be.
Dude, and you can give rant like, look, here's advice that I would give people. If you want your relationship to work, you have to understand the reason why you're going into that relationship. If you're going into a relationship because you're just, tired of being alone, it's not going to work out for you, like marriage and all that other stuff and happiness. If you go into it because like they got a nice body, nice face, all that other stuff, it's not going to work. If you're going into a relationship because you recognize that you're a soul and you're trying to evolve, and we need our personal relationships to evolve, like to become more like you and Lauren.
All right.
You guys you're growing as a man because of your relationship with her.
All right. In theory,
that's
what I'm hoping.
You have thoughts in your head that you're a great dude, but that's only a concept until you actually do something great. It's just an idea. So what your relationship with Lauren allows you to be awesome and do something great. And then you know who you are because you just did that. So our relationships are mad sacred.
It's funny you say that, you present that way. Because I brought this up a couple years ago to my brother, one of my brothers, Ken, who's seems to be in a very successful relationship himself, marriage himself. And he asked me when I was contemplating proposing, he asked me why, what is it about her? Why do you want to, get married? And he wasn't being a jerk or anything like that.
He just wanted to know. I get it.
Right. And so I said, one of the things I said outside of, I love her, all that stuff was I go, I think she will help me reach my full potential. I think she will help me become the man I'm supposed to be. He laughed in my face. He just went, he goes, that's what you think a marriage is?
Awesome. That's awesome. Dude, that's awesome. He's like, what? Nah, dude.
All right, here.
No, I think, but I think that's what I believe in relationships, in all relationships. Not me and you, we help each other grow.
Well, I mean, you've got relationships, yeah. Like you and me, we have a relationship,
exactly. And have we not helped each other grow with our conversations late night, talking about trying to figure out what this meaning of life is, that, and be like, oh, I never thought about that concept, and then I'm different, and then I go help someone else with what you gave me. Right. So relationships are like sacred. And so again, if you're going into the right reasons of understanding, like, hey, like you just said, I'm trying to maximize my full potential or see who I am through all this, it's better footing.
All right,
that's my advice. That's my easy, random, quick, but specifics. I'm good with specifics.
I wasn't listening. I was trying to say.
I can tell that you.
I was trying to save a photo.
I wasn't listening.
Look at that. There we go.
Look at that.
That's a cool photo. Let me get that crawl off of there. There you go. Solid. Well,
what a good night, man.
Good night. God. Good night. I hope some good things come out of it too.
Yeah, of course.
Some big things come out of it for you.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That would be nice.
All right, let me hit some stuff you should know, and feel free to chime in, my dear friend.
Do you want me to play the guitar on the stuff you should know?
All right, you pull out your guitar.
Okay.
All right. And we'll go through the news of the day. While he does a little bit of.
It's some stuff you should know. It's some stuff you should know. It's some stuff you should know.
No, do you remember the tune?
Stuff you should know.
It was stuff you should know. Stuff you should know. Oh, stuff you should know.
Let's do another one.
Stuff you should know.
We'll change it.
Okay. Go through stuff you should know with a little musical accompaniment. Very proud of myself that I pulled off that. Who the Gudu Guda Kushawa? Look at this. Hi. Well, you're getting a like. I don't know how to say your name, but you're still getting a like. Thank you for being a part of the show today. Today, I started to peruse all the news I could consume. Then I poured myself a little coffee and started to go, what the F is in the news today? There's got to be something better than this. All right. And did you oh no, you were gigging last night, so you didn't even see the opening ceremonies or anything like that for the Winter Olympics.
How were they?
I don't know. I was gigging too. I had trivia night. So I did not catch any of that.
So how are we going to talk about some stuff we both didn't see?
Well,
how's that work?
I was going to bring up some. I was going to bring up some stuff.
Yes, the conversation stops right there. Did you watch it? No. Did you? Nope. All right, next stuff you should know that we don't know. I love it.
That's what stuff you should know is stuff I should know before I come onto the show.
Right, stuff we should know. All right, proceed. Yes.
It's National Pizza Day. Can we talk about that?
Yeah. Where are the Olympics this year?
Pyeongchang.
Did you?
Or Pyongyang. That's what it is. Pyongyang. Not P.F. Chang's.
Stop. Come on, man. All right, come on. Stop. All right, pizza.
Pyeongchang, South Korea.
Oh.
Pyongyang or something like that. I guess I could look at the story.
I really thought you were just saying something. Looked at me, just first thing that popped in your head was Pyongyang.
Let's just get to the pizza story. Celebrate National Pizza Day with these freebies and deals. All right, so today is a National Pizza Day, and I'll go over some of the deals from some of these chains. How do you like your pizza? How do you like your pizza,
cheese,
Chris McCarty?
Extra cheese.
Cheese, extra cheese. I love cheese, extra cheese.
And then sometimes you mess with pineapple.
I could do a California pizza every now. Pineapple and ham and some green pepper. I like that one. That used to be a go-to back in my earlier days. All All right, so here's some of the promotions going on today. Baskin Robbins. Who the hell's going to Baskin Robbins? So they got the new Polar Pizza. No, I'm not interested in Baskin Robbins. Thank
Baskin
you.
Robbins is great. You're slipping.
Really?
What?
Their pizza?
31 flavors.
31 flavors of pizza?
That's gross. You're
Right. Okay. I'm sure it's a fine. I mean, listen, it's pizza. You can't go wrong with it. But look, there's other things on here like California Pizza Kitchen. Try CPK's new cauliflower crust. Nope, I'm out. What the hell are you doing a cauliflower crust?
Gross. It's
Wrong.
nasty.
It's National Pizza Day, not National Ruin Pizza Day. So, new cauliflower crust for no additional charge. Well, you better not charge me for cauliflower. There will be a $2.50 up. Is waiving that. So, if you want to try the new cauliflower crust, they're waiving the $2.50 upcharge for National Pizza Day. No, I don't like that at all.
Okay.
Chuck E. Cheese. There's no reason to go to Chuck E. Cheese for pizza. You go to Chuck E. Cheese once you have kids and you're forced to go to Chuck E. Cheese. But they are updating its printable pizza coupons. You can find them all here based on our location. No, CC's. All you can eat for $6 at participating locations. Domino's, you can celebrate with their pizza offers. You can choose 2 more. Hungry Howie's, Godfather's. There's nobody giving away free pizza. All right, everybody. I guess all your favorite pizza deals or pizza chains have got something going on there. But all right, when you get your pizza, Chris McCarty, do you have a cool little mom and pop pizza joint, or you're calling Papa John's, or
Dude, I'm a Hungry Howie's.
A Hungry Howie's kind of a guy?
Hungry Howie's, man. I like Hungry Howie's. I mean, it's probably not the best pizza, but it tastes pretty good.
That's the thing with pizza. In the end, it gets the job done. It doesn't matter. Unless you're weighing it up against another pizza, you're not going to know. No. As soon as that sauce and that pepperoni and the cheese and all that stuff starts to mix in your mouth, your brain's like, we're cool. We're good.
Man. I'm hungry, man.
The brain's like, we're good. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to add anything else. But you take those same pizzas and you put them up against, a real good pizza joint, and there's no comparison whatsoever. Then you're like, what the hell am I doing eating this stuff? All right, next up, the Tampa Bay Rays going to Ybor today at 1:30. I think the report was, I don't know, it was 11:30 or 1:30 today. They were supposed to announce. All right, here we go to TampaBay.com. After years of speculation and courtship, the Tampa Bay Rays are finally expected to announce today that they want to relocate the team to Tampa. Rays principal owner Stuart Sternberg will for the first time state publicly that the team's preferred location for a new ballpark is in Ybor City near the Channel District. Channel Side or Channel? This is a major step, said Hagan, who added he was given this news of the team. Quote, I'm hopeful this will continue to build momentum in an effort to bring the Tampa Bay Rays to Ybor. That would be cool, man. I mean, that'd be fun. I just don't know if it's going to happen. I just feel like, and I don't know, we've had a lot of talk, a lot of discussions over the years about this, and I just kind of feel like if the Rays don't make it there, then they're going to another city altogether. You follow that enough, Chris? I know you're a big sports guy. But.
Yeah, I'm a big sports guy, but I kind of find out about those things like right when they happen.
Right.
I didn't know about that. But it makes sense if it doesn't work here, and I don't know if Ybor City. I don't know. We'll see. Well, we'll find out. We'll all see together, right?
Yes, sir. Next up, in stuff you should know, Dave Bautista tweeted to the city of Tampa. Guardians of the Galaxy star Dave Bautista trolls city of Tampa on Twitter.
What?
over his gate. Now, listen, I'm not. Don't think I'm getting ready to pile on because I do not know the details. Like, some rich guy is bitching about his gate. That kind of thing. He's been dealing with the city for 7 months. So here's the tweet, Dave Bautista. City of Tampa, what the hell do I have to do to get you to approve a GD gate? It's been this shows you how angry he is because this is him lashing out, and he's doing it on Twitter. And if you're throwing in this kind of stuff, he is pissed. It's not like, dear City of Tampa, I as a resident would like you to look into the da-da-da-da-da. This is, I've had enough with you mother effers. Wow. City of Tampa, what the hell do I have to do to get you to approve a GD gate? It's been 7 months of waiting on permits, spending thousands of dollars on surveys, dealing with inspectors with shitty attitudes, jumping through hoops, etc. WTF do I have to do? It's a gate. Well, I don't know if he is yeah, what is it about this gate? Is it like a gate to hell or something that they don't want in the city of Tampa? What the hell? What's wrong with this gate?
Stay out.
Stay out. Less gates and walls.
The truth is they don't care about your gate. That's why you're not hearing back from them. They're like, whatever. They have other things to worry about. That's what's going on. No offense.
No offense. I'm a new homeowner, so I'm sure I'm not teeing off on them because it's so easy to go, come on, buddy, lay off of these city employees. You're famous, you're rich, you're this, you're that. You'll get your gate when you get your gate.
Yeah, I hear. I'm just saying, like, what it is they're not top priority. Like, just kind of what it is, man.
No.
I like it. He's trying to do what he can to get his stuff together. That's cool.
Because as soon as the way I see the universe, as soon as I start going off on him about some little thing will happen
to you,
at my house, and I'm going to start bitching to the city, and people are like, "Come on, man,
hey, man, I got you, Bill." Yeah.
First world problems there when it comes to stuff like that.
Absolutely.
All right, next up on stuff you should know: new emojis on the way. Woohoo!
Yay!
157 new emojis finalized for 2018
Do I
release.
have that many? I don't know if I can
Well, let's go through some of
feel
these.
that many
First of all,
different ways.
what?
I don't know if I even feel that many different. 157 different emojis.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we got.
All right. Well, the red-haired people are finally.
Hey, they're winning right now. They're like, yes, thank you, Ed Sheeran, for
Yes.
putting us on the map again.
Ed Sheeran should get a lot of credit for.
An egret from Game of Thrones. She was hot.
Okay. Oh, then that
Absolutely.
If it's hot redheads, then what about the busty one from Mad Men? What was her name?
I never saw Mad Men.
All right, I don't know. All right, I'll lay off. Next up, okay, here's just I guess a shot of a lot of them there. So you look up over your head or my shoulder, and you'll see a lot of these now. Some of these look like superheroes, teeth, magnets, clocks, shoes,
Emojis. Oh my.
woozy face. I mean,
That was me this morning. Oh.
I was gonna say when do you?
I would totally use that.
Yeah, I was gonna say when do we use something like that? Never mind. When somebody's, how are you feeling this morning? Bam.
Yeah. Be like, yeah, great night last night. Yeah.
Did you have a good night last night? Bam. That means yes.
Right.
Yes, I did. I don't. Okay. Woman's flat shoe. So, obviously, this was a suggestion. Somebody's like, hey, listen, man, you got a lot of emojis. I'm not trying to complain or anything, but we really could use a flat. You've got some heels in there, but not all of us women are, like to run around in heels. So make sure you add flat. I don't know. I guess maybe this is the answer to a question when a couple of girlfriends are going back and forth. The answer, hey, what do you wear? What kind of night? We dressing up? Da da da. You send this back, and it sends a a signal that, hey, this is it's a casual, more
Flat
casual.
night.
It's a flat.
It's a
It's a
flat
flat.
shoe day. Flat shoe day.
I'm going to try to justify every single one.
So are you scared in that one? Or those are supposed to be older people?
No, I'm assuming that after Facebook or whoever controls the emoji, whoever has the emoji farm. I'm assuming since we've added so many other, ethnicities and so on and so forth, they went back to, well, we got to add some more white people. We got to add some more yellow people to the bunch. Let's get some silver-haired ones in there. The ones that look like the cool grandparents that you'll smoke weed with. I think I nailed it on that one. Any other explanation?
I don't know, man. That's yeah. It's got to be my grandparents.
Your cool grandparents who are staying young or something. I don't know.
Fun.
All right, next up, we're gonna go through all 100. I'm
What?
quite
Seriously, dude. Yarn.
I'm quite positive this was not necessary.
No.
So-
That's why.
So when I see stuff like this, Chris, this is when I start to get into like conspiratorial stuff.
Bring it. I like it.
No, that they've added stuff in here. Like this is all a ruse, and there's only a handful of these that actually matter, and this is one of them. We don't know what it is, but it's code for something. I'm sure it's either drug or sex related. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, it looked like a.
Oh, wait, there we go.
Hey, my people.
There you go. I guess they just need to get some short-haired, white-haired emojis going.
I guess some older generations like, where are emojis?
Oh.
That looks like an alien. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's.
Let's talk about that. Do you think aliens are walking around here, man?
I do not. You think aliens are walking?
Yes.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, this conversation is
Next question is why?
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, okay. Well, all right. Why is fun, but why would you even think this?
Because I look at people walking around and some people, no offense, look real weird. I'm like, yo, man, I mean, it's like an effing alien. And I keep it walking. I just go about my business. You never think that? Like, you just look at a little kid. And I'm like, what does that kid do? It's probably an alien. And keep it moving.
Yes,
you know
I thought that.
Right. Like people with big old eyes that are just little, just off. Like, hey, where are you from? Alien. All right, we go.
Oh, shoot. I forgot my, let me know when you're ready. All right, here we go. Not familiar with the podcast.
So
Will
better.
you be using just audio or video as well? Video. Man, you and I got
going.
going.
For that? What would be the word for that?
For what?
Okay, so if you're racist, like you don't like people of this ethnicity, what are you if you just don't like aliens? What is that? You're not racist. You're an alien hater. What would be the word for that? Let's make it up. You make it up because you're brilliant like this.
Well, I'm distracted right now. I apologize.
I apologize
because I realized that my 12 o'clock interview I'm 12 minutes late on, so I feel bad. So I need to. All right, I'll be dialing you up.
Who are you calling?
I will be dialing you up right now.
Who's the 12 o'clock interview?
So you know all these Amtrak crashes over the past. Well, no, you don't. There's been quite a few over the past 3 months. A lot of fatalities and some controversy swirling as well. So this gentleman we're getting ready to have on is one of his friends was one of the people that passed that died. And he has some stuff to get off his chest because, he feels like this is not an accident. So let me add him real quickly, make sure that I got him.
So another conspiracy person.
Well, no. No, I don't think so.
You said he feels like it's not an accident? Well, we'll find out.
Well, yeah, based on, I want to say, a conversation that he had with his buddy.
Oh, prior to? Okay.
Is this him? Oh, shoot. I should have done this a lot earlier. Oh, this is how I can do it, right? Sorry about this, buddy. There you go. There you go. There you go. Watch all these great angles. What if I type in his phone number? That'll work. I've never been on a train. Yes. Here we go. This is the kind of stuff I should have done pre-show. All right, video it is. I believe we've got this working here. Hey, there you are, Mike. How are you, buddy?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing swell. Thanks for asking. I was reading some stuff this morning, and first of all, thank you so much for joining the show today. And second of all, I'm sorry for your loss concerning your friend.
Thank you.
Now, did you work for the railroad system or Amtrak yourself?
I did. I actually started with CSX. I worked there about a year, which is freight. You can hear me okay?
Yep. You sound good.
I worked with, after that I left CSX. I spent about a year and a half at CSX and then went over to Amtrak and spent about 8.5, 9 years with them. I don't know how, I don't know if it was 9 exactly, but.
All right, these recent train crashes that are under investigation, there have been fatalities involved, which included one of your friends. Tell us about your friend.
Well, I wouldn't exactly call him my best friend or someone I palled around with, but I first met Mike Sella in Wilmington, Delaware, which 5 of us got hired as conductors in Jacksonville, and that's where they send their conductors to be trained from all over the country. So the 5 of us went to Jacksonville. That's really how I came into contact with him at first. We spent 2 months in the school together, and then after that, they sent the 5 of us back to Jacksonville to begin work.
Okay. And when these wrecks happened, did you have conversations with him concerning how he had felt recently about safety there at Amtrak?
Not particularly with him. we worked together in Jacksonville for about 2 months, and then I transferred to New York City because there was, honestly, the whole reason for that was there's more money to be made out of New York City. And after that, we were Facebook friends. I had little conversations here and there with him. And then at some point down the road, I transferred back to Jacksonville. Saw him a couple times, but that was it. I mean, he had never expressed any concern over safety or anything like that.
All right, but you had firsthand knowledge. So, what are your concerns now? You've seen these these crashes. You've been on a lot of the cable news networks talking about your concerns. What are those concerns? And are you getting any pushback from the railroad industry or Amtrak?
Well, first of all, I could say this till I'm blue in the face, and I'm sure you've read about it. The positive train control system. The NTSB got on TV and said basically if this had been installed, what do I want to say here? The deadline was 2015. They got an extension until 2018. Had this been installed before the deadline, they said this crash would have never occurred, and if it did occur, would have been prevented. As with all these other accidents, such as Philadelphia, Washington State, where they hit the crew on the backhoe in New Jersey, it's just, and you know what? It comes down to one thing: these railroads don't want to spend the money on it.
Well, what's going on? Because usually when it comes to stuff like this, once a crash happens and there's fatalities, the government steps right in and these changes are being made. But I know what you're talking about, and I remember that going back to because that New Jersey crash has been a year or two now, right?
Yep. And I believe it was 2 of the crew members that were working on the tracks. It killed 2 of them. There was not protection in place by the dispatcher or something, and had there been a combination of the protection entered into the system by the dispatcher and the positive train control, even if they got past the protection, the PTC would have stopped the train.
So why does this keep happening? You say it's as simple as the railroad companies don't want to spend the money, but like I said, usually when it comes to stuff like this, once there's a death, the pressure comes and they spend the money whether they want to or not. So the pressure is not coming from the right people, I'm assuming.
I just think it's a combination of a lot of things. I've talked to a lot of people about this. First of all, they don't want to spend the money on the PTC. It is expensive. It's not just putting something on the engine and the track. It's a long, drawn-out process. It also has to do with time. These railroads, especially the freight industry, run freight that moves this country, everything on that train to do with the economy, and they want to run their trains 24/7. I understand that. They don't want to take the tracks out of service because that holds up their bottom line. I understand that, but you can't.
We're having a wreck. It's not like this was one wreck and it will likely not happen again. This is happening over and over and over and over.
The other thing I want to talk about regarding that is, let's go back to Washington State. They had the equipment. They're claiming they had the equipment on the locomotive installed for the PTC. The rail carrier, which Amtrak did not own those tracks either, said they had the track portion of it installed, but it wasn't activated yet. Well, there has to be a little bit of cooperation between these 2 railroads. And hey, if it's not working, why would you run that train and have an inaugural day without saying, hey, why don't we just get this working first and then we'll run the train?
All right, like I was asking, has there been any pushback from Amtrak? Because obviously, if you've got somebody out there like you who is sounding the alarm, that the pressure will eventually come their way.
They're not going to say any. I've actually spoke to several people asking the same thing you're asking. They're not going to come right out and say anything to me because nothing I'm saying is a lie. They know everything coming out of my mouth is fact. So if they go to question it, hey, I worked there for 9 years. I wasn't a manager or anything, but it's just you can't deny these facts. And I do have a friend that works there. He's out on injury right now. He's on Facebook with one of these, these employee groups. They're closed. And he says there's just a lot of frontline employees. Some are saying some good things about me. A lot of them are saying bad. And he says the bad ones are just the ones that come to work. They don't. Sorry. Hold on.
Everything seems fine on our end.
Okay. Yeah, there's employees that are just saying, hey, this guy's a jerk and he shouldn't be saying anything. And those are the scary ones, because those are the ones that come to work and just be quiet. And if anything's wrong, hey, we're not going to say nothing about it, and then potentially something bad could happen. And if you want to get into that, I can get into that.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Is there a culture then? Is it more than just the highest of the higher ups going, hey, we want to make more money? Is there a culture there at Amtrak that leads to stuff like this?
Amtrak has this culture of they call it the code of silence. The union employees.
Who calls it the code of silence?
It's just well known. I mean, that's kind of what me and my friend nicknamed it. But I mean,
okay.
We compare it to like being in prison or something, where it's the guards against the, you know what I mean? Like these shows like Oz or something like that. It's like, and if you say something to the management, you're a snitch, and just so the wheel could be falling off the train, and if I say something about it, I'm a snitch. And it's just like, these people come to work, 99% of them will not say anything to management about anything, and they're quiet about everything, and their job. Because here's the other thing: the management intimidates everybody. They don't encourage you to report unsafe acts, and if you do, they say, "Hey, this guy's a problem," because all they care about is moving those trains. They don't care about these managers get on time. They call it OTP, on time performance. These Amtrak managers, especially out of big places like New York and Philly, all they care about is getting the train out on time. And they get a bonus at the end of the quarter if they get so many trains in the quarter out on time. So that's not a way to run the company, because you should have a program in place to get a bonus on safe operation.
Right. All right. So is there anything
getting your trains out?
Is there anything that that is happening right now? I don't know if it's in the federal level, or is there any legislation, or do you have any support? Are there people out there working to fix this, or will I be having you on next month and the month after and the month after talking about the next wreck and the next fatality?
Well, that's what I was hoping to do by getting my word out there, is perhaps Congress, who gives Amtrak money. Remember, Amtrak is subsidized almost 100%. They don't make a profit. So,
that's even more unnerving.
It's taxpayer dollars, and there's no accountability, because they know that they're going to get money every year, regardless of whether they do anything about anything.
So that's how that I don't want to start.
Kind of.
So that's kind of how that culture happens. Then they're not technically accountable. So those who do have some control and some power and are making some money, they don't give a shit. Like you said, no, keep moving the trains. I don't give a damn what happens, because I've got my wife at home who, if I don't hit this bonus again, is going to leave me for my brother. So I got to do something.
Right, and we all know the board of directors from Amtrak is going to go to Congress every year, and they're going to give them money, and it's been guaranteed since they've started the railroad. Now, I will go back to the private carrier, CSX. I think the reason they're so reluctant to spend this money, I mean, I know how business works. They don't care about the employees. They care about their shareholders. They're a publicly traded company, so these shareholders are probably not wanting them to spend all this money. But what I would be concerned about with the freight carriers, you have tons of big customers. How does this look like? I'll give you an example. Tropicana. Tropicana is based out of Bradenton. They have 2 or 3 trains a day with nothing but refrigerated cars that say Tropicana all over them, and that's their biggest customer. How would you like it if one of these? Right. How would Tropicana feel if one of these trains just hit our cars? There's an aerial view and our cars are all on their side, but they don't think that way. They think about the shareholders.
Which is understandable. We know that most corporations, that is definitely in the forefront of their mind, but also, like you were just saying, the publicity is in the forefront of their mind too. Those moments in the forefront of the mind, you think they would just take care of some basic safety so people aren't dying once a month. They're not having these wrecks once a month. And like you said, what's going to happen is we're going to get that one news report. This is going to happen again, and it's going to be Tropicana orange juice, or it's going to be something like that that's all over the news. And then they're going to be the ones that get on these freight carriers and go, all right, you guys need to do some shit. We can't do business with you like this.
And it's just it all goes back to dollars and cents. And it's just I've talked to a lot of people about this, and it's like, even if it costs you a lot of money. This would be my take on the whole thing. If it cost you a lot of money and you saved one life and prevented total public relations nightmares from big companies, as a
You would think
shareholder,
it'd be worth it. You would think.
As a shareholder, I would say, hey, maybe this was money well spent. Because what happens if they have those accidents? Your stock is going to go way down.
Right.
And you know, so it's Amtrak with the Congress, and it's these freight carriers. They're all traded on the market, and you gotta keep in mind. I tell people this: they should be a little more positive about their business, because everything you eat, your car, your soap, everything is transported on a train. So it's all, you know, it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
it's big business, and you should take your big business seriously. And as far as this latest accident, man, I woke up, looked at my phone, because I get these news alerts, and I was half asleep, and I was like, this has got to be some kind of dream, because it's just been happening so much, you know. And I turned on the news, and it was not a dream. And I'm like, oh man. I'm like, and then I don't know if you saw what happened the other day with the Acela train, where it kind of came apart.
Yes. Yeah, okay, so that's now nobody got hurt over that, right? But what you're talking about, these two trains, like all of a sudden just separate, and the first couple of cars, I can't remember, was it 3 or 4 of them, just keep going as the other one slow, you know, takes a while, miles to slow down.
Well, first of all, I've worked on those Acela trains. They're high-speed trains, and they call it it's not like a regular Amtrak train. They're all these Acelas are called train sets. And they call them sets for a reason, because I believe they have 12 or 13 sets. They're permanently, the cars are made to permanently stay together. That's why they call them a set. And even when you do maintenance, they're hard to get apart.
Okay.
So
that's not good.
They're all so for one of those to come apart on its own I've seen a regular Amtrak train separate. It happens once in a while. But for an Acela, I've never seen anything like that happen, ever. And someone could have been walking through with their food or something, you know?
Right. Oh my gosh.
Fell out and died, and that would have been. And I will tell you this: the picture you saw, we're looking down, like at the. I don't know how much time you got left. Sorry.
Hey, listen, it's my show. We can go as long as we want.
My friend sent me the picture. Okay, so he said, "I'm not going to tell you where I got this picture, how I got it," and he says, "But I will tell you, Amtrak right now has another train pulled up next to that stopped Acela that split apart. Nobody's hurt, nobody's dead," and he says what they're doing right now is trying to unload all the passengers, get them out of there before anyone finds out about this, and get the train out of there so nobody knows about it. Cover it up. So of course I immediately call all the stations in the Baltimore market, and it's covered. They like to hide stuff. If nobody's dead or hurt, they cover it up.
Well, I'm glad we have you on the show before Amtrak finally gets to you. You disappear.
I'll tell you another story. My friend up in Albany, he's a conductor, and every car has a handle above the door, so you can pull the handle and manually open the door. Okay. And that's normal. I mean, for a conductor. He did that one time, and for whatever reason, he got zapped, like some kind of voltage was going through it, which is not normal, obviously. He files a lawsuit, and, you know, obviously the lawyer wants to see the car and everything, and Amtrak's response is, we don't have that car number. We don't know where it is. And then they knew somebody down in Bear, Delaware, where their repair shop was, the lawyer, and they said, yeah, man, it's down here. It's all covered up. They're trying to hide it. They don't want you to see it.
Holy shit. I didn't know that Amtrak is I can't wait for a series of movies to come out to span decades, and it's like the old mafia movies, but it's all centered around Amtrak.
I mean, it's story after story, but I mean, they could get this to where they want it to be if they tried. They could make this safe, and it's like there's no effort. Management shows up to work, gets their check. You say something, they punish you. My friend, you know, the one I keep referring to, he's got a whistleblower lawsuit against them. They tried. He's a locomotive engineer up north. It's all electric territory, and he reported something extremely unsafe, and they ordered him to keep moving the train, and he refused. And they suspended him for 15 days for insubordination. There's internal emails going back and forth that they subpoenaed that says we're going to fire his ass. Jeez. And we'll see if he opens his mouth ever again, and see how smart ass he is now. And hey, worked out for him. talk to him every day, you know?
Wow. So what's next for you then? You're going on shows like this. You're going to the media right now. Do you have any other steps? Have you set up any foundations, or you don't know? You're just taking it as it comes.
I reached out. I actually did a newspaper article about Mike. I didn't know him that well, but, you know, I thought just say something nice about him, you know? And that was in Columbia, South Carolina. So the wife, believe it or not, I was really shocked. The wife called me. And 2 days after. And the reporter called me first and said she's been calling here like 4 times trying to get a hold of you. So I talked to her, and here's another thing about this whole code of silence, and I was angry. She was pissed too. I said, you didn't have to call me. And she goes, no, I wanted to just thank you for the nice things you said about Mike, because not one single person from Amtrak, including Jacksonville, where he works, came forward, did anything, or said anything nice about him. And I know what it is. They're all feared. You know, this was an incident involving the railroad, and they're afraid if they say even anything nice, Amtrak's going to come after them like a witch hunt, like they do, and discipline them and terminate them.
That's the sad reality of that. Once you get to that corporate level, I don't need to share my good friend's name. But he was in charge of over 100 people in his particular division. There was a serious accident, and he's a very good man. And all he wanted to do was go to the hospital, and say, "Are you okay?" And I'm tearing up now because it's such a horrible story. All he wanted to do was go to the hospital, see if he was okay, console with his family, and so on and so forth. But he had to go through the lawyers first. He had to go sit down in a meeting with lawyers so they could go, well, you can't say this. You can't say I'm sorry. Or be careful when you're saying I'm sorry, because you might be admitting guilt. He had to go through this whole process before he could go see one of his employees to make sure he was okay.
And I know I worked in Jacksonville a brief amount of time, a couple times, and I know those people that work there. It's a very small base, so I know they knew Mike, they accepted him right away, and I know that they feel awful. But how does it make you feel as a person if you knew this guy and worked with him every day, and you're told basically you're not allowed to say nothing to him? Not only is that going to exacerbate the emotions you're having, it's going to build anger and resentment toward the company, and that goes along with safety. You come to work, now you have a chip on your shoulder against the company. You're just pissed that they have no heart, you know. And that was basically the gist of what she said. It was a very short conversation, and I said, I agree with you. And you know, and it's kind of sad that I only knew him 2 months in school and maybe 2 months on the road, and that I told her, I said I didn't really know him that much, and to hear that nobody that had been working with him for years on a regular basis could say anything, didn't want to. And I called up a conductor friend of mine that used to be the union guy in Jacksonville, and I asked, hey, how you doing? He goes, well, I'm laying in bed. And he was laying in bed because he was depressed. And I told him what she said, and I said, you know what? It might be just a good idea to have the current union guy at least pick up the phone, send her a fruit basket, do something. And there's a GoFundMe account set up now, but I told him, I said, to me that's impersonal. I mean, that's kind of, I don't know.
It feels weird. Feels weird to go, hey, I just lost a friend. Can you guys go donate money over here? I know it feels weird, but it is cathartic for some people, you know, and it can help. So,
you know, and for me, it was just, I'm glad I'm not there anymore. That's the culture. Like, I liked the job. Don't get me wrong. I liked being on the train. I liked railroading, and my family used to be railroaders, and it's just, but I'm not going to work in an environment that's unsafe. You have no backing from your employees or the management, and they're just so unempathetic. It's not even funny. When stuff like this happens, like Philly, Washington, the only thing they care about is getting those claims representatives out there, like, which are internal insurance adjusters. You're distraught. Sign these papers, please. And then 30 days down the road, when you got your head clear, they're like, no, you signed these papers.
Yeah.
Here's $500, you know?
Just like we agreed to.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Good luck in trying to, you know, I know you're just one guy, you know, trying to encourage or or promote change in that industry. I'm sorry for your loss, and I have a feeling we'll have you back on the show sometime soon.
Yeah, we'll see when the next one happens and where it is, and and it's not funny, but I mean the sad reality, it's probably going to happen again somewhere.
And how do you pronounce your last name? Is it Callanan?
Callanan. Like Callahan, but with an N.
All right, Mike.
And I will say one more thing in closing. That train accident that happened about 2 weeks ago with the garbage truck. Did you see that with the GOP people that were on it?
No.
The Republicans that were coming back from the State of the Union.
I did not see that one. No.
Well, real quick, it was a special train that Amtrak put together for the Republican senators to go to their little retreat after the State of the Union. So the whole train consisted of lawmakers. Republicans who always threaten to privatize the railroad. So that may be something good that comes out of this, because they struck a garbage truck and killed a man, and it was all over the news, like Fox and CNN. So hopefully they got a first-hand look at what happened, and now they see what happened in South Carolina. So hopefully there's some kind of legislation or hearing before Congress about Amtrak. We'll see.
All right, Mike. Thank you so much, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care.
All right, bye-bye. Man, oh man. Yeah. What are you doing here? Oh, there we go. You up?
That was crazy to hear all that stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it all, but whew.
Yeah, this is I don't know. Those I like but hate those moments, because I like that we're getting that kind of story out there that needs to get out there. But I always have this urge or this thing where I want to solve all the world's problems, and in those moments you don't have any answers, and you're just hoping that the best will come out of this. And thank you so much once again for him to come on this show. He says there's been no retaliation, but behind the scenes, if they got a guy like this that's going from a cable news network to cable news network to this show, then they've taken notice. So.
Of course.
Well, listen, we got to lighten this up a little bit before we get out of here. I'd like to go through some of Chris McCarty. I hope you don't mind, sir, but I'd like to present a slideshow this morning for everybody. All right, it's not really a slideshow. We're going to go through my photos, beginning with let's see. We already got the ones. Well, we'll start here from the beginning. We're going to go back a little bit here and go through. And really, the main reason I'm doing this, kind of, is because I'm just so annoyed that I wasn't able to do this in the beginning of the week, and now I can. And so I'm going to do it. I'm hell bent. So we'll start with your pretty mug right there. Look at that.
Hi.
House of Blues. You see. Okay. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I have to play this for you. This was yesterday on the couch. This is Roxy McPoopenstein. And she's our little golden angel. And what? You know what the Wake.Show is all about. It's about the current news, some commentary, guests, and then this kind of stuff. So Roxy, she has some allergies, and so she'll need itchies every.
Itchies? What's an itchy? She gets.
I mean, she'll need scratchies because she has itchies.
Itchy and scratchy shit. She needs scratch.
She'll need scratchies. You
are so gonna be a good dad, bro. Man. Yeah.
So, so back to this. Here, she crawls up in my lap yesterday, and I realize it takes me a little bit because I don't know Yorkies.
But they have itchies.
And I realize she wants me to scratch her chest and or belly.
Okay.
So this is her trying to get me to do that.
Hey, man. Hey. Let me get some of that.
All right, so I start scratching, and then she's good. She's like, all right, I'm good. She's licking. And then when I stop.
Hey. That's actually funny. Hey. Okay, we're good. Yeah.
Start scratching. There she goes. All right, we're good. Oh, yeah, right there, buddy. Right there, daddy. There you go. Now it sounds perverted when you say it like that. I stop.
Maybe you're not going to be such a good dad after all. I'm just kidding. Hey, why
Stop. Why did you stop? Please don't
I
stop.
can't talk. This is all I can do to get you.
I can't scratch my own belly. Damn it.
That's funny, man. You should put that on something and see if it goes viral. That's cute.
I've always
Cute dog, man.
For the last few years,
your dogs. They're always sweet.
I really should start their own page, but I don't.
Yeah.
There's a million. Everybody's starting.
I remember when I went to your house, they had all these toys, and I was like, just toys. Your dogs had more toys than my kids had toys.
Oh, I'm sure that's not true.
That is, all right.
All right, there's my little golden angel there.
Thank you. You see the picture? He's got more pictures of his dog than I have of my kids.
That could be true.
That's a pretty dog, though.
That could be true. That's her butt.
Look at what?
I was trying to get her face when she turned around on me.
Right, and you kept the picture.
That's Joey going, "Hey, buddy, I'm just trying to chill. I'm trying to chill here. You put that camera away, or I'm going to shove that camera right down your throat." That's what that look is.
Wrong with you, bro?
And that's him to come jam the camera down my throat. I had to put it away. What is it? Oh, this is kind of fun. I screenshotted this. Where do you think Elon Musk's car crash, where it will crash into? Will it crash into Mars, an asteroid, And you can go to sportsbet.com.au and place your bets. So I don't know if this is you bet $1, you get $2.50 back. So I think that's what this is. I'm not too sure. So if you think a UFO will take out the spacecraft, that'll get you $100 or $101 for $1.
Wow.
I think. All right, what happened there? What happened? Let's get back to this mode here.
I will not be joining that.
Oh, all right. So here's a doodle. Here's a doodle. Well, first, I should probably just throw it. Just what do you think that is?
A vagina.
I knew it. So this doodle,
that or an airplane, little airplane joint.
Well, I was thinking about the logo for the show. You see, we've got that right there. And an important part of this logo is this right here, the little dot. It's supposed to be the Wake.Show, right? Not just the Wake.Show, the Wake.Show. And then it's about all of us leave awake. It's not about what you're necessarily doing in the moment, or the issues we're talking about in the moment, but then the effect that has, the wake that you leave day in and day out.
I like that.
All right, so we're the Wake.Show. And so I was trying to come up with something a little bit more dynamic, or just I don't know. And so this is what I started to so this is something like cutting through the water. That's the wake left behind. So this is what I was trying to, but it turned out, next thing you know, it looks like more like a vagina and
legs hanging out.
Yeah. I'm a great artist.
Holiest of holies.
I'm a great artist. Oh, this is my Wednesday night out at Park and Rec. It's a good gig, man. I know that you. Oh, damn it! I know that you have gigs on Wednesday nights, but right, you're always somewhere on a Wednesday night, aren't you?
Yeah, man. We it's cool. What I'm actually gonna try to just start going to the beach now on Wednesdays. Just sit on the beach in the afternoons during spring break.
Okay.
Just post up
and rake it in
outside and just play for the people. So it's
you mean like a little street musician or something?
Yeah, like right by the beach, right by the water. Just set up.
Wait, so do you have a gig every Wednesday night? No,
I do.
Well,
I do.
Because if you don't, then I want you. You should come out and do this with me one night. I'll give you. I'll give you some money. Even pay for your bar tab if you want.
Don't tease me like that.
That'd be a lot. It's 4 hours of karaoke, man. And
that's a lot of karaoke, homie.
Well, okay, it's not 4 hours of karaoke. I'm out there for 4 hours playing the music and karaoke.
Right,
I do both. All right,
okay.
All right.
I'll go with. I'm always down for something. Once that's always fun.
All right, here's another one from that night. Do I have to ask these people?
Sway through the crowd to an empty space.
I understand why you.
If you say run, I'll run.
Am I allowed to play this stuff without their consent? I don't even know.
If you say hi,
I think if they were okay with singing in front of people that they should be okay with you showing. And if they have a problem with it, then don't be singing karaoke. You were fine that night.
Well, all right. Here's this
they're
is
fighting.
I know. I know this guy. I met this guy a couple of weeks ago. This is Dr. Carlo. He's a dentist, a holistic dentist.
She has a shirt that says "Love Me."
All right, so if you just
false advertising lady,
if you're just tuning in, I'm going through some of the photos in my iPhoto from the last week. You're getting to know. Okay, so there's another shot there of Park and Rec. That was early on in the night when nobody was there. That's a little Joey. And he is that's the way he sleeps in the bed. He's 7 pounds, and he will sprawl out like this.
Now, do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
Go back to your picture of the Wake.Show that you were trying to make, and then put them side by side. The one you got up right now, and the one you were trying to draw, and then you tell me if that's what I saw, brother. Look, yeah, you see it. Then go back to Joey.
All right. So now we know.
That's why I have no idea where you got that idea. You're like, man.
Now we know where that drawing came from.
This idea, and you're like, he sleeps there every day, well. There you go. There you go.
Now we know. Now it makes perfect sense where that drawing came from. It was an image that was burned into my head that I had to pen.
Of your dog.
No damn
spread eagle.
No damn future logo of the Wake.Show.
You really love that dog so comfy. He just sleeps like that.
That's
every day.
Actually, I was out. That was Wednesday night. I was out doing my gig. And that was Lauren back on the couch who was, just taking some pictures of our children, our dog children there. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's do this. Because it's that live thing, too. You can hold the...
Oh, that's cool. That is actually...
All right. Oh,
they're very comforting, aren't they, animals?
So this was pretty cool. You missed this on Tuesday, I think it was. But are you a...
foosball champion? Yes.
That was question number one. Are you foosball champion? So yes on that one. Are you a fan of the Tampa Bay Rays?
I am.
So Evan Longoria, come to find out, just got traded in December away to the San Francisco Giants, I think it was, or was it a three-way deal?
I'm a fan. I didn't know that.
I don't know what. Well, yeah, I didn't either. Well, this guy.
Not really a fan, huh?
This is Christian Arroyo, who one of the guys who got traded in the deal, the guy on the right side of your screen. That's my buddy Emil and his kid on the left side of the screen. Again, I should really ask them before I do this kind of stuff because now I realize that I'm putting a man and his child on my show, and Emil might be like, "Hey, dude, don't do that."
If they have a problem, they'll let you know.
But this is the stuff I need to learn.
We're learning.
You know what I'm saying? I need to.
Well, that's cool. He's playing him. That's really cool.
So it was a lot of fun, and it's funny too. Because he's playing a kid and his dad, if you think about it.
Right.
But I have a lot of experience.
Where you going? Where you going?
Well, with being around athletes, being in the media, and it is amazing how competitive they are, no matter what. Once you start down that road, they're competitive.
Oh yeah.
You're beating a little kid and his dad.
Yeah, look at him.
You hear me go? You're beating a little kid and his dad.
He's like clapping, like, yeah, I am.
But for those of you that are big fans of the Rays and looking forward to this young team and what we're putting together, he was, on the air. When you're talking to people on the air, it's one thing. When you're talking to people off the air, it's another thing. Not only was he a very good interview, very gracious and compelling, and it was a great interview. But off the air too, you could tell he's a down to earth, really nice guy. I'm not trying to put anybody on a pedestal and say somebody's perfect or anything like that. It was just good to see somebody who was so down to earth and so cool. So that was all right. That's coming from my
like attracts like, brother. You are one down to earth cool dude.
What?
Like attracts like. You are one down to earth cool dude.
I heard you the first time. I just wanted you to say it again.
Could you say that again? A little closer to the mic, please.
That's right.
I want everyone to hear it. That you think.
I have way too many pictures of my animals.
Man, that's not too many. You love your animals, man. It's all good.
Okay, so all right. So I wanted to show you guys this one. This was earlier in the week, and
Chris, I want you to come the next day after your show.
What?
Come to the show. I'm acting like like you're calling me. Hey, come to the show. What we gonna talk about? Pictures of my dog.
Yes.
I'll be there. Like sitting here like, man, another picture of the dog, huh?
Yeah. Hold on. You got to see this.
You.
You got to see this one now. You got to put on the headphones.
All right, fair enough.
You get that. You get the
I
headphones.
get
You get the
the
headphones
real.
because you have to hear this.
All right.
So I know that I'm not a parent, and
Right.
Anybody who has animals and you start talking about your kids and the trials and tribulations of raising a kid, and then the person that owns the dog goes, "Oh yeah, I know what you mean." With my dog, this, and this. I know that annoys people with children because I know it's not the same. But one of the parallels, can I just draw a parallel? I'm not saying it's the same.
Of course. You take care of it.
Is these two go at it like
Cats and dogs.
Like brother and sister.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Like cats and dogs. These and Roxy gets really annoyed because Joey will end up with a bone or something like that she wants. But instead of just going to get it herself, she comes to one of us and tells us to
Just like this, like the other one.
watch.
Okay,
Watch this.
The sweetest little bark I've ever heard.
It's because it's not a bark,
How
Chris.
do you know
She's
that
talking.
I know. How do you know she's like, yo, come get that shit from such and such?
Well, because I've been around her enough, and she didn't do this. She didn't do this in the beginning when I first got her.
Right.
This is stuff that she's picked up along the way. 'Cause I'm telling you,
You're like the
dogs
dog
are amazing.
whisperer. You're the
What's
dog
that?
whisperer.
On one hand,
Yeah, you're the dog whisperer.
on one hand, dogs can be dumb as shit. But on the other hand, they will surprise you a lot. And she was surprised. And her thing where she's smart has to do with her communication, like reading the room and then figuring out a way to get you to do whatever it is she wants. And so she figured out this talking thing a couple of years ago.
She's really talking to you. Shut up.
Dude,
Yeah, that's awesome. She actually is talking to you.
I'm telling you, she is. I remember when she first started to figure this out. Instead, it's not a bark. She would sit there, and her tail would start to wag like she's trying to work up, and she would just go.
But you know what? And I'll tell you the parallel. It's with my children when they're trying to. There's the same kind of. They're stopping. They're like trying to figure out what they're trying to say. They're trying to, and there's a weird shake. They do the same thing. But kids are.
So what was happening? Why was she wanting? So this is what was happening. Go back. See right here under his chin. All right,
Yeah.
that's the prize. That's a bone, one of those little rawhides. And so what he'll do, and he's not even chewing on it. He just, oh damn it,
And just sit on it, knowing that she wants it.
Exactly. Exactly. And so this is where they're like kids. This is like where they're siblings because he doesn't want it. He is not chewing on it.
It is so real. What you just said.
He just wants it. And Matt, and a lot of times too, Chris, he won't even want the bone until she wants it.
Absolutely, the same way. That's kids. My kids do that same. You're not even. You know what we say all the time? It's Johnny. You're not even playing with it. You didn't even want it until you saw her grab it. Why now? It's just
There you go. That is my point. That's what I was trying to say. Is that sometimes when we animal people say, "Hey, I know what it's like," I know what it's like because that happens every single day in my
Every
house,
day.
and it's also annoying.
Because the difference is you can't talk to them and get them to. They're always going to do that. My kids eventually will be like, "All right, like you're done."
and it can wear on you. It can grate on you because it's a constant little bickering.
Yeah, like,
so
stop.
So I know what it's like to have kids. All right, let's see here. Oh, this is. I have to show you guys this because this is just a beautiful picture of somebody else's dog.
I was going to say that's not true. Why do you?
No, that is Kahlua. So we were house sitting for a couple days for some friends of ours that are getting married, and they had to go take care of some wedding stuff. So I'd stop by the house and take care of their dog, send them pictures, and let them know because I'm a good house sitter.
Because you know what it's like to have your kids. Sorry. I said pics.
So that's cool. She's a pretty girl.
You're a good friend. Taking pictures and be like, that's cool.
Oh,
Because my babysitters don't even send me pictures of my kid. Now you just up there. I require a picture every hour to make sure my kids are good now. Thanks, Chris.
That's just a random picture of Rockbit. I want you to notice in the background the flowers there. Look at that. Just so I can show you how good of a husband I am. That's a leftover from our...
Wait, I just saw this today. I'm going to read it to you because...
What?
Hold on. What you just did.
What I just what?
I mean, you didn't do anything wrong. I'm just going to read this thing to you. You just said I want to show you the flowers.
All right, let me show you.
And this is what it is. Just put it up there. Just put it up there so everyone can read it.
All right. A good deed dies when it is spoken about. Screw you.
What about those flowers, brother? I know you're a good man. Dino Rogers says, "What's up?" You know Dino?
Dino. Oh, over at Janice.
Yeah, just say what's up.
Hey, Dino. All right, so this picture right here, my buddy Emil, who came on the show and brought Christian Arroyo with him the other day, he was like, he hadn't watched the new show, and he goes, what kind of stuff do you talk about? What should I familiarize myself with coming in the morning? I told him I'd send him a list of topics for the day. Then I got to it, and I didn't have topics for him. So I just took a picture of the topics from the day before, and I go, here's the kind of stuff that we talk about: flicking off cops, MLK, Ram truck sermon, Timberlake versus Prince, Uma Thurman speaks, Shelby Mustang Miller, universal basic income, Super Bowl 52. We had it all.
Can I tell you something that I really thought was going to happen in the Super Bowl halftime show? I really thought that Janet was going to pop up and like pull out Justice's nipple. And that would have been awesome. And she was like, now what you going to say?
I was
that would have been great. I thought it was going to happen, but nope.
I was wondering if there would be something like that as well.
That'd been cool. If she came behind and pulled his nipple out.
That would have been fun.
Oh my God. That would have been great.
All right, so back to the slideshow. Next up,
more dogs.
Oh, it's Kahlua again.
Oh,
and a nice little shot there. I believe that was a live one as well.
Wait,
how cool is that?
Can we do this? Oh,
do what?
That's on your. Okay, I can't do it then.
Oh, and here's I just took some footage of the. This is in their backyard. I don't know what it is. Oh, it was a koi pond. It's a koi pond. It doesn't have any koi in it right now, though. I just thought it was so peaceful that maybe I would loop this and just watch their koi pond instead of going to YouTube for that. All right, some more. Oh, okay, I can show you that, right? Yeah. Okay, so when I was over at their house, I said me watching their dog was only going to cost them one glass of whiskey.
There you go.
So there you go.
There was a lot of that last night.
Me and Kahlua.
Can we go back and forth? Like you're showing dogs.
All right, go ahead.
We're just gonna make it. See, he shows dogs. That's me and my son, Johnny. It's his first time at Disney World. You see that? Don't you guys like that? People more than dogs. I'm sorry.
Well,
trying to mix it up a little bit, brother. I'm playing. I love the dogs.
This is our wedding anniversary here on Sunday. Oh,
can you play that now? Can they see you do that?
Yes.
Have you already done that?
Nope.
Let's do that. That'd be great. They need to see that. This is. By the way, I want to tell everyone. Chris sent it to me. The video of the song that we made, where he wrote that I helped arrange for his wife, and when he sent it to me, I promise you, I was like, oh. So you guys enjoy this. This is gonna be awesome.
All right, here we go. So I think I've already set this up for you. Chris and I did this for you live yesterday, but this was on Sunday. I was very, very nervous, and so I wanted to set up all of my gear, all of my equipment, and put on a little concert for it. But it didn't work out that way. I just set up one of those little wireless speakers and hit play. Chris had recorded the music, and so I just sang the song live to her. This was part of her anniversary gift, including the flowers. We had to stay under $50 with everything. And the reason I feel like I have to qualify that or quantify is because if you're like, hey man, you didn't do a lot. You wrote her a song and got her some flowers for less than $50. That ain't cool. That's the way it had to be. So here we go.
Her whisper sounded like a song when she said she'd known all along we'd forever and always belong. And then she kissed me through the darkness. Her light was bright, and when I regained my sight, she was right in front of me. Her whisper sounded like a song when she said she'd known all along we forever and always belonged. And then she kissed me. The scars were still tender. It was early December. I wonder if she remembers. She remembers. So I woke with the rising sun. Still so much work to be done. And her love to be won. To be won. whisper sounded like a song when she said she'd known all along we forever and always belonged. And then she kissed me.
Yeah. We
All
did
right.
that shit, man.
There's that. That's that.
Don't be shy of it, man.
Thank you again. No,
awesome.
I'm really. Listen, that's nothing that I need to share for anybody for professional reasons. But I am very happy. I'm very happy. It made her happy, so it made me happy.
Yeah, I can see that, man.
And I can't thank you enough.
And I want to tell everybody, man, just watching him get into it, watching him get into the emotions, watching him feel and think about his wife, and just to work the song up to recording it, and then to see you take the deep breath before you started it. I mean, it was just nice to see, like, yo, man, this man loves this woman like he loves her, yo. It's great. That's why I came, because I know you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, man. And, my wife and our ex-wife, so the fact is an ex, I'm like, I'm all about love, and I know that stuff doesn't help, so I just want to be here to help any way I can. And
Thank you.
Yeah, man, I got your back.
I appreciate that, man.
Of course.
All right, so here's the a picture of the flowers again. That no longer count because I'm bragging about them.
That's going to be in your head for a long time. I can see you doing that, man. Man, no good.
Publix, $30.
That's it?
Yeah.
Hey.
Thank you.
I would do that to you. You know what? That makes now you're sharing, saying, "Hey, fellas, you see these? You can get $30. Cool. It's not like you're bragging. You're just, hey, see?
Yeah, no, because
That's something good
because spend over
information.
$50. Like normally, that would easily be me going to a florist.
Yep.
And spending
all that dough.
All right. That was the sandwiches, the breakfast sandwiches she made on their anniversary.
Nice.
The rolls she brought back from New York last week. So good.
Hey.
So good. I love eating the rolls just by themselves.
True.
That's last Saturday night. That was our anniversary dinner. Do you recognize those doors at all?
No.
Salt Rock Grill.
Oh.
Had both of us. You know how sometimes you go in and you're at a night like this and you order. You're spending a lot of money and the food's like, really? We just spent $100 on that?
Right.
This wasn't one of those nights. This was everything was absolutely perfect. We could. I mean, it was just a perfect night.
Full.
Yeah, full, but not
Not like,
right.
That's nice.
All right.
It's a cute dog, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I know it makes you want to
I'm
break out.
I'm a cat guy too, but that's
It makes you want to break out your phone and give me more pictures of your kids. Doesn't
like
it?
that. It does.
I see. I knew it.
Hey, you know what? You go cat. You go dog. I'll go cat.
No,
I'm gonna
we don't
show
have
you
to do
my
that.
cat.
Nobody likes cats.
What? Come on, man. Geniuses like cats.
I also wanted to get to because this was. Oh no, that's going to be upside down. It's going to annoy you. So this was last Friday when we were working up this song. I had given Chris the lyrics, and he just. I mean, I don't even know if it took him 15 minutes to come up with the little tune, the little medley.
This is what kids and animals you get.
Melody. It's not medley. Sorry.
Melody. My son did that. The cat was
this
sleeping.
one?
My son put the covers all over the little kitten and covered him up. Just being sweet. Yeah, man. That's the.
This is what the Wake.Show
when you get kids, it's gonna be really fun, man. Kids and the dogs.
So I wanted to play for you guys just Chris trying to find the tune for this song that I just played for you.
Oh snap! I didn't know you. That's cool.
From the sun, and then she kissed me. Darkness, the light. Diamond, the light. Tell me about me body's arm, and me back from the house.
This is really cool that people get to see how I write songs. Like you really,
That's what
the melodies, and that's cool. I'm glad you got that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I'm sure you probably take yourself for granted, Chris. And what it is that you what it is you can do. But for those of us that aren't that kind of creative, we're not musically talented at all. You grab these these lyrics. I started reading them to you, and as I'm reading to him, he's just kind of. I think it kind of starts off with a rhythm, or you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like it kind of starts off like a rhythm as I'm reading, and then all of a sudden he just starts picking, and then diddling, and I don't even know if it took him 15 minutes to come up with the melody for that song.
Man, I look at it like this. It's so crazy, man. Like, we all have our gifts, and if you don't think and just be who you are, stuff like that happens, you know. And in that situation, it was like I wasn't thinking about me. I was thinking about you. You know what I mean? So there was no writer's block. There was no. It was, you know, the intentions like, no, this has to be. You know, it's funny, for my own song, I overthink it and do, but that was just like, oh, and maybe that, you know, I don't know, that was good. I think it's all about the intentions, man. I think we gotta go, huh?
Yeah, that's all right. We're wrapping it up here.
Yeah, that was awesome, man.
And
Thank you.
that was cool too, because he'd come in
the night before.
he had a good night. He had a gig the night before, so when he opened up his guitar case.
Hey, can you zoom in even further? Can you see what we're looking at there?
Here, we got. I see a $5 bill. You see 5 there.
I see. Is that a 20 up top?
5.
Oh, that was a good night.
Oh, 5. I don't know.
You don't want to back up. I don't want to be. He's fine. Give that man a tip.
And then here's the last photo that I wanted to show you guys, because you're right, it does the karma comes back, because let's see if my wife is watching first. Okay, I don't think she is watching today. Hey, Chris. Sorry for yelling in. I don't know why I did that. I could have just said, hi, Chris. There's no reason for me. Mr. Chris
Have you ever
Russell
given someone a microphone and they start screaming at, bro, it's Mike? You know?
I don't know. I've been doing this long enough to know.
Yo, what's going on?
Okay, so the flower thing, I can't take full credit for, because I got a text from her brother a couple of days before the anniversary, or the day before, and he let me know that she dropped me a hint that I likely missed, because he missed a similar hint from his wife, and she pointed it out. So he's like, hey, remember, go back through your messages and you'll see that she sent you a picture of flowers. You see that there? And you see what it says. I go, those are nice. And she goes, I love yellow roses. Mm-hmm. Well, I completely missed this. And you're like, Fish, this is such an obvious this is such an obvious hint. How do you miss something like this? But you got to see it in the context of the entire day. And I was at while we're going back and forth, I was in meetings, and so like those are nice. I was I wasn't even paying attention. She was at her grandmother's funeral, so that's where she's taking the pictures. I'm like, well, okay, those are nice, and she's like, I love yellow roses, but to me, it doesn't register. It's not going to register to me, because I got other things going on. But this is where I want to train myself to be a better husband, so that I pick up on this kind of stuff when this comes in. So anyway, her brother sends me this and goes, hey, you missed something, I'm sure. I go back to my text, I see this, I send it to him, and he goes, you nailed it. So there you go. That's how I ended up with the yellow roses. I did 6 yellow and 6 red for our anniversary there. So thank you so much for being a part of my slideshow today. My pseudo slideshow. I really appreciate it. And Chris, thank you so much for sitting through that.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Here's what you and I should do.
What's that?
What?
What's that? See, now I got the headphones on. This is talk normal. This is right. This is how I talk normally. Right. I just have to yell, it seems.
And now I'm the one yelling. Now I'm the one.
Isn't it funny? Yeah, I'm like,
I have the headphones on. I'm staying right down. Staying right down here. Nice. Right here. Yeah. I know that this is plenty of volume for everybody, but when I don't have my headphones on, hey, did everybody hear me?
That's what I'm
there?
saying. That's what I'm like. Oh man. All right. Good. There we go.
All right. So need to get some headphones for both of us.
Yes, we do.
I don't remember what I was thinking. I was thinking something, but I don't remember what it was now.
It was probably very profound.
All right. Well, I've got some work to do. I know you've got. What are you up to, man?
I'm playing at Ybor at the Ritz Ybor City tonight at 7 o'clock. Us, Chase Rice, Sam Woods. Sam Woods? Riggs. Ooh, sorry, Sam. My bad. And we'll be there. So check us out.
Well, thanks, man. Thanks for coming by.
Thank
you so much for being a part of the Wake.Show again today. My name is Chris Fisher. Let's see. I'm not out anywhere this weekend. I'll be enjoying some date time with my wife.
On a beach in Hawaii. Yeah. On a beach. Not in Hawaii, but on the beach.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you so much for everything. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday morning.
See you guys Thursday.
11-ish.